Heavenly Delusion was a trip figuratively and literally. I really do love it when I sit down and watch a show after all the hypes die down after a while, and I get just a chance to sit there and enjoy it, and I don't have to worry about any spoilers on Twitter or anything just positive or negative at all. I just get a complete blank slate and I just get a complete educated guess of what I'm going to be watching, right? And my goodness, was this an actual fun trip to go on. Before I get into how it was so great, let me at least give you the story at the very bare minimum, right? With the A plot first starting off with a boy and a girl, and this girl has to deliver this boy to a specific location where they obviously don't know where to go, and then they obviously know it's gonna be a long ass trip and road ahead of them. And with the B plot we have is with a group of kids that are in the facility, and we don't really know why they're there, but it seems like it's like in a closed capture where like they're being educated and they're being taught things, and surprisingly they seem to have some type of powers or some type of special abilities that's unique to every single kid that's there in that facility. Oh yeah, almost forgot, it's extremely known that it's obviously man eaters that are out there that are also eating people, that are like sort of have powers, or they're like really weird creatures that are around just straight up eating people in weird disgusting ways in this post-apocalyptic era that they live in. Now with that out the way, now I can finally get to my likes of this show, right? Now Heavenly Delusion does a lot of things right, but one of the things they do right is the setting. With plot A, you see them trying to survive in this post-apocalyptic place that they now call their home, with all of the rest of humanity as well as some of the monsters that live out there. And then the interesting plot B, which is just like all the kids that are in this facility, and then you sort of don't really know if it's like how it's connected in the way of plot A, or how it is vice versa, but having it feel like it slowly gets to an answer with some of the hints that people do say to each other. Next would be one of my favorite things about this is just the two characters from plot A, right? The two main characters, which is Maru and Kiriko. They are by far the most best part about this show, right? I do love the way how they bounce about with each other, as well as how they get introduced as characters, and how you see them grow, how you slowly see like their origins and who they are as a person, and how you not only get answers to some of your questions that you've been waiting for, but then after you get those answers, you get more fucking questions to those answers that you've been waiting for. And another thing with them is like the comedy, right? The comedy between both of them is some of the best stuff about the show. I do love it when they bounce off with each other, and then they just have a flat out comedic moment here and there, or for like a short period of time before we go back to like the main point at hand.
I'll let you touch my boobs if you go get up.
Real.
Then there's also the way they speak as well. Like, I don't know per se if it's different in the manga or it's different in sub, but in dub it's honestly hilarious of like how modern of a way they speak. I think that's pretty funny, and I do like that little bit of urbanness, like when it comes to the way of speech, because you don't really necessarily see it a lot, but it is good to see it sometimes here and there. Manga for me as well also feeling a bit more genuine when it is said it is done in that specific way. But let me not contradict myself, let me at least go back to plot B and tell you, like, I'm so interested in plot B. It's not like it's bad or anything like that, it's just like plot A is so much more interesting, and I'm so much more hooked on plot A that when we get to plot B, it's just sometimes, it's not a lot, it's just like a few times when we go back to plot B, I'm like, hey, fuck, why are we going back right now? Because they do, I will admit, they do a really good job of doing a back and forth when it comes to going to plot A and plot B, and they sometimes leave you on a cliffhanger of what it's about to happen and give you your answers later on in the episode, or sometimes rarely in the next episode. But they do keep me invested and hooked in the terms of plot B, because when they introduce plot B, you are interested in what is happening here and what is going on, because you've already seen in plot A how everything's post-apocalyptic, so you're wondering how everything's sort of semi-futuristic when it comes to the term of plot B, and if you're confused if it's in the here and now, or maybe it's in the past, or maybe like you sort of make theories on it on your own in your head of like what the fuck is happening, what is going on right here. But realistically, having it be more of a slow burn, like the whole show technically speaking would be technically a slow burn, but plot B being really a slow burn, with the more interesting things just being the characters that are there in their environment, which would just be the children out there, and seeing how they act and interact with each other and what they do on a day-to-day basis, as well as the faculty members, and see like the sort of semi-hierarchy or semi-faculty that's like advising or like sort of controlling this whole situation that's going on here, which you slowly seeing their intentions and what they generally want to do in this faculty here. Now you already know I gotta give the big ups to the animation. Yo, that animation is looking fresh, especially when you look at the intro. The intro looks just phenomenal, and then on top of like seeing the monsters here and there in plot A, and how they just like conform and twist, as well as just hurt people, or just some of the scenes that surprisingly that you get in the show that you just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm surprised that there's actually animated what's going on here. But expanding upon that last part a little bit, just like some of the gut punching moments in this show is just sometimes you just gotta sit back and be like, wow, like that just happened, right? I mean, not going too far into detail, but just talk about this specific part with the hospital and the girl in the hospital, right? Like that was one of the scenes where I just had to sit down and be like, wow, this is very extremely sad right now. And how far left that realistically both of these characters could really go in plot A when it comes to some of the scenarios that they are put in, because you gotta remember it's a post-apocalyptic era that they live in. But just some of the scenarios that you do get put in just how left their mindset or their psyche could go, and how bad of a person, technically speaking, you could be or become one of these weirdo people that are out there. And like I always say, I always have to give bonus points and brownie points to shows that generally can give me a short story that's in 1 episode, 2 episodes, or maybe even just 3 episodes, and really give me a conveying message of like who this person is or how it is with these other side characters that you have that interact with the 2 main characters at hand. But some of the stories even just leave me just straight up dumbfounded, or just like my jaw wide open, like what? That really like that happened? Wait, is he lying? No, that actually happened. What the fuck? But seeing these 2 characters together, always having their back, just feels like an almost unyielding hope that they always have and they always will have as long as they're together, and nothing can really necessarily stop them. And that does sound like a bit of a cliche, but it is true. And I will say this is probably one of the best shows in my opinion when it comes to the titling of a show, Heavenly Delusion, because you can literally almost put this to every single episode that is in the fucking show, Heavenly Delusion, and just like imply it or just like say it or just think it, Heavenly Delusion. Yep, that's a Heavenly Delusion right there. Any type of form or context when it comes to this series, and I don't know, it just really just puts a smile on my face. But if anything, I would obviously highly suggest this show. Give it a chance if you want. I think it's a good show. I think it's definitely worth the watch. It's only 12 episodes, so what do you really have to lose? Especially with something like that. It was 12 episodes, 6 episodes. Give it a shot. Why not? Why not? Give it a shot. Why not? Why? But other than that, I think I would just say thank you guys for having a really good year, especially with me in this channel, and also you guys sticking around and talking to me here in the comments or maybe in any of the community posts I do put up out there. It's been a really good year. I'm very thankful for all of you that are watching this video as well as watching any of the content I do put out here. And yeah, I guess I'll just see you guys in the next video. Goodbye! Also, this video was supposed to come out last year, but I fucked up and it took way too damn long. I don't know, I was slacking a little bit, my fault.